Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Hawkshot, brought to you by Enigma Esports, the show that reveals everything you need to know about the League of Legends pro scene. As always, I'm Brimstone, and this week we are going to be checking out the World Championship Finals, as well as looking forward to what action is to come before Season 6 kicks off in January. So of course, the biggest news recently has been the World Championships, and last Saturday's Grand Final did not disappoint. It was a strictly Korean affair, as both SKT and the KOO Tigers managed to take straight sets in their semi-final matches against Origin and Fnatic respectively. Each of the European squads really did well in their first games, but tilted under pressure after losing, which eventually turned the euphoria into an eulogy. And so on Saturday the 31st of October, all eyes fell on the Mercedes-Benz Arena in Berlin, as SK Telecom T1 and the KOO Tigers faced off for the ultimate prize, the Summoners Cup. KOO took an early lead in Game 1 as they managed to turn around several skirmishes from SKT in order to grant an early kill lead. This was short-lived though, as after an expert TP from top laner Marin behind enemy lines, SKT was able to clean up the 5v3 fight. Several successful teamfights and gifted kills to Faker's Kassadin allowed the former world champions to take Game 1 with relative ease. In Game 2, an early jungle invade that turned into a two-man turret dive gave KOO Tigers yet another lead in the early game. This time they were able to hold on to their lead and pressure for much longer until Marin once again came up huge on Rumble, securing several teamfights with fantastic equalizer placements, eventually allowing SK Telecom to ace KOO in their base for match point. Risky plays were again the major feature of the early game in the third match, as jungler Hojin pulled on his carry pants on Lee Sin. Opting to utilise an offensive build path, KOO were able to translate their early pressure into multiple picks across the map, and gained an insurmountable lead by 30 minutes, breaking open the Nexus in just under 38 minutes, smashing SKT's dreams of an unbeaten run. In the series' final match, SK Telecom played things by the book, forgoing the high-risk early plays that were a hallmark of the early games in favour of a slower playstyle that allowed them to take objective after objective, slowly pushing KOO Tigers back to their base before closing in for the kill, the series, and the organisation's second World Championship title, an unparalleled achievement in League of Legends history. And now that the dust has settled from that epic final, it's time to look ahead at what other events will be coming in the next couple of months. Well, things kicked off on Friday the 6th of November in Korea with the Kesper Cup. Kesper will feature 14 of the best Korean teams, including 10 from the LCK and 4 from offline qualifier events. The format starts with a round of 12, with second round buys being given to the top 2 teams in the LCK Summer Playoffs, namely KT Rolster and the new world champions themselves, SK Telecom T1. The final will be held on the 14th of November, and the cup winner will grab themselves a ticket to the Intel Extreme Masters event in Cologne. Then on the 21st and 22nd of November, the action picks up in San Jose for the first event to feature League of Legends in this season of the Intel Extreme Masters. The squads competing are North America's Counterlogic Gaming and Team Solo Mid, World's finalists Fnatic and Origin, LGD will be representing China, and finally from Korea we have the Jin Air Green Wings. It should be very interesting to see how the European squads bounce back after their recent defeats, how TSM and CLG handle their new rosters, which will be covered later, and you definitely need to keep an eye on LGD, as they will be looking to put in a strong performance after failing to show up on the world stage. San Jose is not the only IEM event that you can look forward to though, as just before Christmas, IEM Cologne will take place. While we don't know the full lineup just yet, we can confirm that 2 NA and 2 EU teams will be invited after being voted in by fans. They will join Edward Gaming, who picked up the Chinese fan vote, and the winner of this week's Kesper Cup. Just the kind of early present everybody wants. Also, there will be another All-Stars event from Riot. Though no details have been formally published yet, expect more information from both Cologne and All-Stars in our next show. Next, let's hit that transfer market for the latest news on roster and organisation changes. As always, if there is any big news that comes out after this video's production, details will be given in the description box. First of all, Dignitas have had a pretty big shake-up due to the announcement that a buyer has been found for their European team, who managed to qualify for the LCS last split. The sale is due to a Riot ruling that an organisation may only own one LCS team at a time. Follow Esports decided to invest into the LCS market and bought the Dignitas EU roster for close to $1 million. The organisation have stated that for now, players' spots are safe, with the exception of jungler Obvious, who has been let go by the organisation. Meanwhile, back in Camp Dignitas NA, tryouts are currently being held for their top lane and AD carry positions, and it has been announced that Broken Shard and Inner Flame have been signed to fill the positions of coach and manager respectively. Many of you should remember Inner Flame as SK Gaming's old coach, who helped them rise to the top of the LCS during spring, and Broken Shard was instrumental in Dignitas EU qualifying for the European LCS. The biggest news of the week goes to TSM though, as they look to be building their entire roster from close to scratch after their Worlds run went down in flames. So far, only the mid lane and AD positions are known, with Bjergsen and ex-CLG superstar Doublelift set to give the new squad a very solid foundation to build upon. In other news, we still aren't sure what Gambit's star AD carry Forgiven will be doing next split. Gambit, whom Forgiven joined at the start of the summer, announced that the Greek marksman was to be moved to the bench after a disappointing split. Also hitting the bench will be Counterlogic Gaming's Pobelter, even though he was widely regarded as one of the best American mid laners, and will be replaced by Huhi, despite him not playing any official games with the team just yet. And finally, H2K will be searching for a new jungler, after news broke that Lulex will be headed on to pastures new, following a mutual decision with management. Lulex has stated that he is open to offers from both North American and European teams at this moment in time. As we start to round out the show, it's time to announce that the winners of last episode's competition have been drawn, and their names are in the description box below the video. GG guys, you two have both netted yourselves some free RP. Now, if you are not one of our lucky winners, don't despair, as we are giving you another chance to win one of two €10 RP cards. Same rules apply. To enter, you must be in the EU West or EUNE. Just follow the link in the description box down there, and we will announce the winners in 2 weeks' time. And while you're checking out the links, make sure you also head over to gamersgeareu.com, as a range of official Enigma Esports apparel has just been released, including customizable hoodies and jerseys, so that you too can fly the Enigma flag. And that's it for this week guys. We will be back in a couple of weeks to bring you the news you need to know. Join the discussion on Twitter by using the hashtag Hawk and leave us any feedback. Also make sure you follow Enigma Esports on all the social medias, details are down below as normal. I've been Brimstone, and it's time for me to go on cooldown.